Hi, I'm Matthias. I'm a tour manager for group traveling in Europe and I'm a Berlin guide too. Today I would like to take you around a little tour in and around Berlin to inspire you to send me then later to spots and places that are connected with you, that are connected with your own history, with your ancestry, and places you always wanted to go to. And I would like to invite you then to join me on a one-to-one Zoom conference. I will be your eyes, your ears in these places. And I start my tour today in Torgau. Torgau is about 60 miles south of Berlin. It's the place where on the 25th of April in 1945 the Russian troops coming from the east met the American troops coming from the west. So they closed the front, and 2 weeks later in Berlin the war was over. This again is Torgau, St. Mary's Church. Started to be built in the 1200, and in 1552 it became the burial place of the wife of Martin Luther, Katharina von Bora. Here at Schloss Hartenfels in 1543, the first chapel was inaugurated that, even with the support of Martin Luther, was constructed in the way the new service was done. Now I'm in Wittenberg, under the so-called Martin Luther oak. It is said that here he burned the papal bull in December 1520. The former Augustinian monastery where Martin Luther lived with his wife Katharina and his children. The old Latin school in the center of Wittenberg, right in front of the city church, the church where Martin Luther preached more than 2,000 times. Last but not least, the castle church in Wittenberg, the church where in 1517 he nailed his 95 Theses on the door, and the church where he is buried. From the 1700s on, millions of Germans immigrated to the United States. But even those who couldn't make it to the Promised Land, they named the new settlements that they found here in Germany after their dreams. So this one is just 30 miles southeast of Berlin. If we have a look at German cemeteries, we find a lot of names that are common also in the United States, maybe Americanized, kind of. Like here, Lehman. Then next by we have Reimann. And soon there is Lange. There is Lilienthal. Okay, Kramer or Kramer in the US, and finally then also here Marshall. I'm here in Berlin, the district of Schöneberg, the former neighborhood of Albert Einstein, the probably most famous German of all times, lived here in between 1917 and 1932 before he immigrated to the United States and became a citizen. The neighborhood looked different in that time because also Albert Einstein's house where he lived was destroyed during the Second World War. A German artist in 2002, Gunter Demnig, had the idea to create memorials for our mainly Jewish neighbors that suffered in the years from 1938 to 1945 under our fascist system. So we have 75,000 of these so-called stumbling stones now laid out all over Europe. Here I'm in Berlin, and this memorial is for Jacob and Rachel in Trator. They were a Jewish couple that made it to escape. Through Portugal and Cuba, they arrived finally in 1942 in the United States. Unfortunately, Jacob died soon after he arrived, so he could not really enjoy his freedom. Somebody else lived in his house, Leo Davidsohn. He was not that lucky. In 1942, he was brought to the concentration camp of Theresienstadt, and he died there at the age of 76. This is Berlin Tempelhof Airport. In 1948, the Soviet army blockaded the city of West Berlin, and so for 11 months, all the goods, everything that the city needed, had to be brought by airplanes. Under the general Lucius D. Clay, the American general, the operation started, and today we know it as the Berlin Airlift. 280,000 airplanes started and landed to support the city for 11 months, and it happened right here. I'm here in Potsdam, the kind of twin city of Berlin, and I will now cross the bridge here, the Glienicke Brücke, internationally known as the Bridge of Spies, because this was former borderland. So here I'm still in East Germany, and on the other side is West Berlin. I'm here in Berlin-Zehlendorf, the former American sector in West Berlin. Still a lot of Americans live here, and the street is named after Lucius D. Clay, the general who organized the airlift in 1948-1949 to support West Berlin. The monument behind me is General Steuben, a former German officer who became the Inspector General in the American Revolutionary War to organize the troops. And here's another monument. The monument is called The Day the Wall Came Down. We are talking about the 9th of November 1989. And it's a gift by an American artist, Verrill Goodnight, who gave it to the city of Berlin in 1998 for the 50th anniversary of the Berlin Airlift. And here we have the so-called Allied Museum, also opened in 1998 for the same occasion, and it's located here at the former US cinema outpost. They put here a former watchtower of the Berlin Wall. We have the regional checkpoint Charlie hut, and we have one of what we call the raisin or candy bombers. I'm here in Berlin at Bornholmer Straße. This is or was the former checkpoint in between the east and the west in my back, and this is exactly the spot where on the night of the 9th of November 1989 the Berlin Wall opened for the first time after 28 years. I was born and raised in the east, so I would never ever get the chance to cross the bridge I'm going to now. I would never get the chance to travel around the world like I did, and I would never ever dream about to become a tour manager and to travel with you around Europe. So this is the end of my little film, and that's the point to invite you to travel with me again personally, but there might be reasons why you are not able to travel at the moment or in general. So if there are places that matter to you, if there are places you always dreamed to go to and for whatever reason you are not able to do it, you can send me there personally as your personal eyes and ears, and in a one-to-one online chat with the camera, with the sound, I will go there for you. So stay in contact, Stay human, become vegetarian, and watch out for the signs.